Welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because we're going to equip you with what I can honestly only describe as secret agent level skills. We're going to transform how you interact with the world by teaching you how to spot hidden truths and uncover deception instantly. Get ready, because by the time we wrap this up, you'll be looking at every single conversation in a completely different light. Think about this for a second. Are you being lied to right now? It's kind of a heavy thought, isn't it? Do you think someone close to you, maybe a trusted friend, a family member, or even your boss, is planning to lie to you today? We usually think of lying as something only bad people do, but the reality of human behavior is a whole lot closer to home. People might lie about where they went last night, why your project got rejected, or even who ate the absolute last slice of pizza. Well, get ready for a massive pattern interrupt. 200. Yep. The terrifying truth is that most people are lied to up to 200 times every single day without ever even noticing. You are literally swimming in a sea of fake stories. But today, we're flipping the script. We're going to look at the hidden tricks real detectives use to catch liars so you can stop getting fooled. Okay, let's dive right into finding the normal baseline. This is the FBI's absolute first step. Before you can catch a liar, you have to know exactly what the truth looks like on them. You can't just go setting verbal traps right out of the gate. You have to be an observer first. You need to mentally catalog their normal, relaxed mode. How fast do they naturally speak? Are they usually slouched over or sitting up straight? Do they talk with their hands or do they keep them pretty still? This is their baseline. It's like a secret code. You have to establish this because what you're really looking for are deviations. You want to easily spot when something suddenly, inexplicably changes. Once you have that baseline locked in, it's time for the catalyst, the magic question. Because here's the thing, amateur questions just make lying way too easy. If you ask a simple yes or no question like, did you go out last night? A liar doesn't even have to work to deceive you. But asking, what made you stay out so late? Now that is what detectives do. You aren't asking if they did something, you are assuming they did. It's a complete psychological flip. This forces a liar totally off their script. They now have to invent a whole, detailed story on the spot to explain themselves. And making up stories is exactly where liars mess up. And that brings us to the absolute core focus of our explainer today, the 5-second rule. Welcome to the neurological battleground. What happens immediately after you drop that magic question is where your real superpower lies. The 5-second rule is that crucial, agonizing 5-second window, immediately following a question, where a liar's brain scrambles to invent a story, causing their body to physically leak the truth. You must watch them like a hawk for these exact 5 seconds. Not 4, not 6, exactly 5. Why? Because while their brain is working in absolute overdrive to construct a fake narrative, their body is physically incapable of hiding the stress. The body tells the truth way before the mouth can lie. Just think about the sheer agonizing weight of these 5 seconds. 1 second, their brain realizes it's totally trapped. 2 seconds, pure panic sets in. 3 seconds, they are furiously searching their imagination for any kind of alibi. 4 seconds, they're trying to figure out if you'll actually believe it. 5 seconds. After this little window, they've built their lie and composed themselves. But inside this exact timeline, they are completely vulnerable. So what are the physical signs of deception? What does the body actually reveal in those 5 seconds? Let's pivot rapidly into the specific physical leaks you need to be scanning for. Here is your first major physical tell. They suddenly touch their face. This sudden spike in stress from inventing a lie actually causes a massive physiological response. Blood rushes, creating a sudden itch, or they just feel this overwhelming subconscious need to soothe themselves by rubbing their nose, scratching their cheek, or touching their mouth. Second sign, they suddenly break eye contact or look away. Remember that baseline we talked about earlier? If this is a person who usually looks you dead in the eye when they speak, but suddenly they are absolutely fascinated by the floor tiles right after your magic question, their brain is breaking contact just to reduce the cognitive load. It's a massive red flag. The third sign to watch for, awkward pauses or strange vocal shifts. Because their brain's processing power is entirely tied up in inventing a fake reality, their speech centers actually falter. A naturally fast talker might suddenly slow way down, or their pitch might inexplicably jump. Now, I want you to remember this specific number,
2. This is absolutely crucial. One sign in isolation means nothing. Maybe their nose just genuinely itched. But if you see 2 or more of these physical signs, say a sudden face touch and a break in eye contact within that exact 5-second window, boom, you've caught them. The neurological leak is confirmed.
But what happens if they're a slightly better liar, or you just need more hard proof? That's when we start escalating to verbal traps, for when physical tells just aren't enough. Imagine someone saying to you, "I think I was probably at home." Listen to how incredibly weak that sounds. Liars love to use wishy-washy words like maybe, I guess, or probably. They do this subconsciously to build themselves an escape route. An honest person just says, "I was at home." A liar lacks the confidence to be firm, so they cushion their fake story. If you hear those weak words, it's time to spring the double check trap. It goes like this. First, ask a question about an event. Something like, "You went to the movies yesterday, right?" Second, wait exactly 10 minutes. And third, ask about that same exact event, just phrased differently. Maybe, "What movie did you see yesterday?" Truth tellers easily remember real events. Liars, they have to remember the fake story they just invented 10 minutes ago, and they almost always contradict themselves. And if you start getting too close to the truth, watch out for the topic swap. In an honest conversation, a person stays totally focused on the tough question. But a liar, they might suddenly blurt out, "Hey, did you see that funny video?" This is literally a liar's panic button. They are just trying to run away from the danger zone. When you see this, gently but firmly steer them right back to the original topic and just watch how uncomfortable they get. Now, here's a trick that is honestly almost unfair. The interrupt trick. Right in the middle of their carefully constructed fake story, you just interrupt them with this. "Wait, what were you doing right before that?" Lying requires a massive amount of brain power. By interrupting them, you force their brain to juggle their fake story and process a brand new timeline question simultaneously. Their brain will completely overload. Our final verbal trap is the fake detail. Try slipping a totally wrong fact into the conversation. Say it was raining when it actually wasn't. An honest person is going to correct that fake detail right away. "No, it wasn't raining." But a liar, they will often just agree with the fake detail out of pure fear. They're so terrified that correcting you is going to make their delicate house of cards fall apart, they just nervously nod along. We've covered a ton of ground today. Let's bring all these amazing detective tools together for the resolution. Trusting your gut. You want to combine these 7 tricks with your gut intuition. That's the main takeaway. You've got the tools now. You know how to establish a baseline. You understand the immense power of that 5-second rule. You know the crucial physical tells like touching the face or suddenly breaking eye contact, and you're armed with those sneaky verbal traps. But ultimately, human beings have instincts for a reason. If all these signs are pointing to deception and your gut is screaming that something is off, it probably is. So I'm leaving you with this final, provocative question. Who are you going to test your new lie detector skills on today? You have the secrets, you know the exact physical and verbal leaks to look out for. Take this knowledge out into the real world, pay closer attention to the conversations going on around you, and see the hidden truths for yourself. Thanks for hanging out with me.